What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to this week's first exclusive segment from the greatest podcast on turf. I'm Anthony.
I'm Ryan.
And today we are back with our bi-weekly 2023 NFL mock draft. The college football season, regular season, has officially come to a close. It is bowl season, and we kind of have a feel for the big name players that are starting to declare for the draft and the big name players that are going to stay at school another year. It's currently Monday, December 5th at 6:40 p.m. Keyshawn Boutte just decided he's staying at school 5 minutes ago, and Anthony Richardson a few hours ago declared for the draft. So we kind of just have an idea of some of the bigger name first round guys that are going to be in the draft and not. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and real quick, here is a new and improved message from our sponsor.
Also, subscribe to the channel if you're not new and you're just coming here to watch the videos.
Literally. Subscribe to the channel and you never have to watch again. It's fine. We'll take this up.
But yeah, Little Italy Pizzeria located in Townsend, Delaware. Come in and check it out. Let this man cook you a cheesesteak. Great food, great people, great prices. Let them know that the greatest podcast on turf sent you. They will take care of you. Show proof that you're subscribed and that you listen to us, and they will hook you up with an additional discount.
Number one overall pick. This is a consensus mock draft. Again, we're just kind of going to go with the flow. I've been looking at mock drafts all day, and I've started to see a few that have Will Levis as the number one overall pick.
How about we just go Anthony Richardson, get it out of the way?
I'm not sure why Will Levis would be the number one pick.
He's not mine.
He's not mine either. But I'm curious. You've been talking about Anthony Richardson with me all day. Well, why are you starting the Anthony Richardson for number one overall pick?
Because I think I can make you mad with it, so I'm going for it.
I wouldn't say it would make me mad. I just think that
he's not a number one pick.
No, with Anthony Richardson, it's weird because he's a player that is extremely raw with not a lot of college football experience, who is electric and has unlimited potential. It's one of those situations that it's going to be interesting to unfold about. Where is he going to get drafted? Where's his consensus, ADP at? Where are people mocking him? And it's just going to be weird to see because, if you're a fan of a team and if you're a general manager or coach, do you want to draft a quarterback that definitely isn't going to be good year one and maybe even year two just because of his lack of experience and much needed, potential? So for the number one pick, I'm sticking with my gut. It's been the guy all year. CJ Stroud's my number one pick.
Yeah, for me it's CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. I really have no problem with either. CJ Stroud's probably the better prospect, so I'm cool with going him.
Yeah, and CJ Stroud, I think that later this month, I think that his game, the Ohio State versus Georgia game, is going to either help his case for the number one pick or kind of take it away. Because, the way we've been seeing so far, I know it's early in the draft process, but there's really no cold cut QB1 like we've seen before. There's CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, and even Will Levis, and even Anthony Richardson is getting thrown in the conversation to some people. So, I think that with this college football playoff run, if Ohio State does hang with Georgia and CJ Stroud does look good, I think that he could easily solidify himself as the number one overall pick and be the future of the Houston Texans franchise.
Me personally, I could see how it could help him, but I don't see too much how it hurts him. I don't think teams really read into one game. I never do with anything anymore. I stopped doing it because it's just a waste of time. But I think I think if they get blown out by Georgia, I don't think anybody's going to look too far from it. Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Chicago Bears at 2. I know you hate this pick, and you said it before we started, so I'll let you lead the way on this one.
That's great. I appreciate it. The Bears, what's the guy's name from Penn State? I'm drawing a blank.
Olufashanu.
If he declared for the draft and didn't say he was going to stay in college another year, which I don't get why, but I respect it. Get your education. But if he was here, I feel like that's probably where I would have leaned to. Get Justin Fields the tackle of his career.
Yeah.
Instead, we're left with quarterbacks and a bunch of defensive players, and I don't like it whatsoever.
No.
If it's me and I'm Chicago, I'm probably trading back because I think that they need a lot. And if they do trade back, they can get a lot of those pieces. Mm-hmm. Because I'm not sure right now, as we said, there's a clear-cut best lineman in this. I don't think there's a clear-cut top tackle anymore. There's definitely not a clear-cut top receiver. And there's also not a clear-cut lineman. You like the guy from Georgia. I understand. I respect it.
Yeah, I like Broderick Jones a lot.
But we can say the guy from Ohio State's right there with him.
Yeah.
There's not a clear-cut receiver because Quinn Johnson, Jordan Addison, the guys from Ohio State. So it's really just a whole lot of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally,
Eagles trade up their 2 first-round picks and grab Will Anderson and just go all in.
I mean, I feel like that's the most probable thing to happen here.
Yeah, I feel like it's too early to start doing trades around now.
I agree.
So with that being said, I have my pick. Who's your pick? And my pick is Will Anderson Jr. Will Anderson Jr. is my pick.
You just take the best player on the board.
Yeah.
And move on with life.
I mean, at this point, it's like Chicago, they need a lot, like Ryan said. So it's like when you have Will Anderson, who is arguably the best player in this entire draft, available at 2, and you're a team that can, at this point, that is kind of just going to go ahead and grab best players available. I feel like you can't really go wrong with the Will Anderson Jr. pick here, which leads us to another interesting pick, the Seattle Seahawks at number 3.
Where did they get this from?
The Broncos. The Denver Broncos. Yeah, the Denver Broncos. This is the Broncos pick.
Me personally, I say we go quarterback. I know that they said they want to keep Geno, but that literally means nothing in football. I don't care what anybody says. It doesn't mean shit. None of these teams owe these players anything. They don't care. They don't give a hoover damn. Especially coaches. Coaches are liars.
Yeah.
And if you're sitting there at pick 3 and every quarterback is available except for CJ Stroud, I feel like they have to.
Yes, but you gotta think, what's Pete Carroll doing here?
Gotta hate him.
Pete Carroll is taking...
Pete Carroll's drafting Jalen Carter.
No, Pete Carroll is taking, yes, Jalen Carter, or he is taking Tyree Wilson, 6'6", 260 edge rusher, dynamic out of Texas Tech, drafting another Texas Tech player, probably a little bit early than it should be, and just throwing him in there and having fun with him on defense.
Or he's going to be smart and take Bryce Young.
See, this pick's tough because I'm biased because I think that Jalen Carter to Detroit is the dream fit for Dan Campbell. But I think with a player like Jalen Carter on the board here for Seattle that has 0 presence on the interior defensive line, I think this has to be Jalen Carter.
So when are they going to get a quarterback? Never. You're here for a reason.
Because the Broncos suck. Nah, you're right. I mean, yeah.
Bryce Young and Jalen Carter are going in the next 2 picks. No matter what. In my opinion.
All right. I'll give you this one. I'll rock Bryce Young to Seattle and Jalen Carter to Detroit.
I don't care what Pete. I know Pete Carroll said he's keeping Geno. I don't care. It's a lie.
It's fair enough.
If they pick in the top 3, they're getting a quarterback.
And Carolina is mad.
Carolina sucks. Anthony Richardson.
The fact that they're bringing in new management leads me away from Anthony Richardson here because I feel like if it was the same people, they're taking a shot at a quarterback. And
Anthony Richardson's going to a good team. He's going to like the Titans, Washington, Giants. He's going down there somewhere.
yeah, this Carolina pick is another weird one. They're getting a new head coach. We don't know what it's going to be. Baker Mayfield got cut today. Now Sam Darnold and P.J. Walker are there. Matt Corral's injured. No telling what the new coach is going to want to do. He didn't draft Matt Corral. He probably isn't going to want to take his first year on a 3rd round Matt Corral, who didn't play his rookie year coming off a foot injury.
Yeah, I mean...
So I think at the point, the Panthers are here for a reason. The new coach is going to want their guy unless they pull the Giants and stick with a
That's mine.
Sammy D or, yeah. I think that's mine too. I think it's really got to be, honestly. So I'm good. I say Will Levis. Again, like Ryan said, you're here for a reason. You need a quarterback. Just throwing guys in there and seeing what happens, it's done. It's a lost art. It hasn't worked for the Panthers, so they go out there and get their hopeful future face of the franchise.
Next up, we got Philly at 6. Philly has 2 picks in this first round.
6 and 31 as of right now.
Yeah, won't be when the Cowboys win the Super Bowl. But there's one guy that's sticking out pretty clear. But I feel like it could be any guy in the front 7 because I feel like that's where they're weak. But right now, my favorite is Keely Ringo.
Yeah, I mean, with Darius Slay having, one more year left on his contract, James Bradbury being a free agent after this year, he'll probably get paid to go somewhere if I had to guess.
Even if they keep them both, they're both old.
Yeah. I like the Keely Ringo pick. I could also see a Miles Murphy here.
I agree.
I mean, Brandon Graham ain't getting any younger, and Hassan Reddick's been okay this year. I mean, I also couldn't. Now, I also could see like a Brian Bresee here, just because their lack of presence in the interior defensive line.
I always say that, but then like I remember they paid a high ass price for Jordan Davis. I don't think would they double dip like that. I mean, I love a good double dip. But.
Yeah, but I mean, with Howie Roseman, you never really know. But I mean,
with Howie Roseman, he's taken the 7th best receiver in the class.
Yeah, I mean, I could see Christian Gonzalez. His draft stock is flying up. He had an amazing year for Oregon. But I just think Keely Ringo, I think he just is a prototypical NFL quarterback. He can play man, he can play zone, he's physical. He's got the speed to keep up with a fast receiver. So I like the Keely Ringo pick here if you do.
It feels like the easy pick here, and that's fine. We shouldn't be stressing at picks.
I know where you're going with this one. Oh, shit.
I'm not even going to give you shit, because you just have to learn to not give me shit after one good game. Just like I won't give you shit after one bad one. You know?
This pick here for the Jacksonville Jaguars, I don't think it's receiver. They got Calvin Ridley coming back next year, and they've been making do with what they have at receivers. I am a firm believer of them getting an offensive tackle and helping the dynamic of the offense with the outside zone plays, with the quarterback powers, with the running plays that they like to run, and the special plays that Doug Peterson really likes. So I'm in here for my guy, Broderick Jones.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely agree on the position because I picked on Paris Johnson. Personally, I don't care enough. So I'll let you have this one if you let me have one down the road, and we'll move on with life.
That's fair. I mean,
actually, you let me have one. You let me have
yeah. Arizona at 8.
Call you.
This is such a weird pick. Cardinals are picking inside the top 10. You have your franchise quarterback. You have your franchise wide receiver. That's literally it.
You have, I think your receiving core is set. Because you have Marquise Brown, and you have Rondale Moore, who's a decent gadget guy.
Yeah.
Granted, they're always hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Your running back sucks, but you're not going to draft a running back here because that is stupid.
Although I could see a beat.
Although you are Cliff Kingsbury, so you are stupid.
Although Cliff Kingsbury is not going to have a job after this year, I promise you.
So now we have to go with the decision of offense or defense. Me personally, I'd go offense.
I think that this pick should be Peter Skoronski.
I think it should be Paris Johnson.
I only say Peter Skoronski, and you could argue Paris Johnson as well, because they are both versatile offensive linemen that have the experience of playing both guard and tackle. So, I mean...
Paris Johnson's been a left tackle all year, hasn't he?
Yeah, but back in the day, he played, he had the guard experience. But Peter Skoronski is nominated for literally being the best one of the best interior offensive linemen on both sides of the ball in college football. With drafting Peter Skoronski, you get a guy. So if you're the Cardinals, you can put together your best offensive line and put Peter Skoronski wherever you need him to do, whether it is guard or whether it is tackle. So that's why I'm saying Peter Skoronski here, but
I think their offensive line sucks to the point where it's not a plug-in play. It's a complete rehaul.
Yeah.
Because it's literally just Rodney Hudson.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see who has the higher upside. Is it the plug-and-play Peter Skoronski, or is it the left tackle Paris Johnson?
Probably the left tackle Paris Johnson.
Paris Johnson's the pick.
Number 9. Anthony Richardson. I think this is the pick. I think it's got to be.
I'll give my take on Anthony Richardson. We talked about him a couple weeks ago, and Anthony thought that he's going to stay in college, or he should stay in college.
I felt as though he should stay.
And me personally, the way that I think about it is, if you're projected to be a first-round pick, you might as well just go to the NFL. If everybody believes that you're going in the first round, that means you have the talent to go in the first round, and you just need to do good on the combine, and you're going to be a first-round pick.
Yeah.
Staying in college I don't think does really anything for you except makes it faster for your first year in the NFL. As Anthony Richardson, if he played in college and he got hurt, he'd be beat. If he goes to the NFL, sits a year, because we all know that he probably should sit a year.
Yeah.
So as long as that team does that and respects that, I think that's the right move. And I think that the Colts are almost a perfect team to get him because they're not that far away from being a quarterback-friendly team.
Yeah.
They have the offensive line. They have a receiver. They have the running back.
Yeah. It's just with me, I just don't know if you're the Indianapolis Colts, are you ready come week 1 to throw Anthony Richardson to the Wolves and waste another year of all your young guys?
Well, this is why I don't know if it's the Colts. The Colts are in a position where they kind of need to win.
That's what I'm saying, but they need a quarterback. Throwing the veteran guys in, like I said with the Panthers, for the Colts has not worked out since Andrew Luck left. I mean...
Well, that's where they are. Because it's either keep getting veteran guys or it's give up and start over.
Yeah,
they can't just draft a rookie quarterback that's going to be good in 2 years and be fine.
With a new coach, though, I mean, this pick is really hard. Honestly, this is a very hard pick.
I say the only thing the Colts are set at is the defensive line. Because I think even their offensive line's getting kind of old, but it's...
Yeah. Bijan Robinson's the only pick here. And you just run split backs and kick it back to the old school offense and just run. This is a tough pick. When in doubt...
Take an offensive lineman. When in doubt, take a cornerstone position. They don't even need defensive line.
I know. I mean, this is a really hard pick. And I hate to just throw Anthony Richardson just because it's a quarterback. But...
They could use a corner.
They could use a receiver.
They could use a receiver. They could take the first receiver. And then they could try to get a veteran quarterback. Baker Mayfield.
I think it's Jordan Addison here if it's a receiver. Quentin Johnson and Michael Pittman are two similar guys. I think it's Jordan Addison. Do you agree?
I'm cool with that.
Falcons at 11, a team that nobody thought, literally not a single soul thought was going to be as competitive as they've been.
In theory, they have the pieces on offense.
In theory, I mean...
Drake London, Kyle Pitts.
If we don't see Desmond Ridder this year.
If we don't see Desmond Ridder this year, he sucks.
Is that what you think?
Yes. Unless their coaching staff is just idiots.
I'm thinking that this is Myles Murphy. They need help on defense. They need help on the edge. They have Grady Jarrett, who's one of the best defensive tackles in the league. And adding a compliment like Myles Murphy to him, I think that helps both of them and the defense in the long run. Just because the Falcons are a team that struggle with applying pressure to the quarterback and stopping the run. So, I mean, I think that this pick is Myles Murphy.
I'm cool with it. That or a linebacker because they just got rid of Deion Jones.
Yeah.
I'm cool with Murphy, though.
Number 11.
Did we finally get him he got Christian Watson, so I guess he's chilling.
With the emergence of Christian Watson, I think this is the offensive line. I think it's got to be O-line here. And
Peter?
Yeah.
Again, because if somebody gets hurt, he can go.
The versatility helps. I think Peter Skoronski, I think he's plug and play either way. He can play any position on the offensive line. He's got experience at both guards or tackles. So I think that Peter Skoronski will be a good fit for the Packers, just so the Packers can put their best 5 offensive linemen out there and be set. Then this pick is Anthony Richardson. This is the pick. All jokes aside, this is Anthony Richardson.
You know, explain why? Because Derek Carr is 1 more year, and then
give Anthony Richardson the first rookie year. He sits behind Derek Carr, a not too bad quarterback. When I see Derek Carr, I see Will Levis, just with the ability to scramble a little bit more.
You sold me.
Anthony Richardson's the pick. But no, I mean, seriously, I think it'd be perfect for Anthony Richardson to sit behind a guy like Derek Carr for the year, a veteran quarterback.
I don't know, Derek Carr is the guy.
A veteran quarterback.
Jared Goff.
Wow. But I think that Anthony Richardson, if he's here at 12, I don't think Josh McDaniels will be able to pass up on an Anthony Richardson.
Okay,
If
pick
he's still
number
the coach.
13, we got the Texans up on the clock. We took CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud.
I had a moment. At pick number 1, the thing that's like just like sticking out is his former receiver or current receiver.
Yes.
That's kind of jumping out.
Yeah. I would agree.
It seems like, why would they take another receiver? Like, why would you draft CJ Stroud?
Why not, though? No. I thought you were saying going somewhere else.
Why would they draft CJ Stroud if at this pick they weren't? You gotta take him.
Yeah. And with that being said, the pick is Jackson Smith-Njigba. Now, he's an interesting guy. He missed all of this season pretty much due to injuries. I think he had 5 catches for 43 yards on the year. Today, it did come out that he is declared for the NFL draft and foregoing his college football playoff game with Ohio State. I think it's a similar situation, honestly, to the Jamar Chase thing a couple years ago, and how he had a good year. Jamar sat out the next year due to COVID. When Jackson Smith-Njigba, like Jamar Chase, he had a great sophomore season. He was the receiver 3 in an offense with Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson, and posted up 1,200 yards and 5 touchdowns. So I think that he had a good enough sophomore season, and him missing this season, I don't think it'll affect him too much. Me personally, I still think he's a sure lock top 20 pick. So I really don't mind it here to the Texans.
I agree. Next pick, we have the Steelers up at 14.
Oh.
I've already got my guy highlighted on the screen. I think it's obvious.
Yeah. I'll let you explain this one because we're going to say the same reasons.
Joey Porter. Why? What's the word? He's a
storyline and family ties.
Family ties. I don't think family ties is the word I'm looking for. But
well, that would be words because in plural is more than one word.
Legacy.
Legacy, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's a legacy. Steelers love drafting legacies. Mm-hmm. He's here. I feel like that's the only pick. It's the only pick that makes sense.
15, Detroit. Not receiver.
What did they take earlier?
Jalen Carter.
Bijan. We're just going to keep throwing it until it eventually just sticks.
This could be your potential TJ Hawkinson replacement.
This could also be the Anthony Richardson pick if he wasn't.
Yes.
Talked about before.
Yes. Or this could also be the legacy of Noah Sewell and pairing him with his brother and adding another savage to the Dan Campbell defense.
I'm down for the storyline. I love the storyline.
I'm a man of the story. I'm a man of the dramatics, you know?
Yep. Next up, 16, we have the Chargers, and the Chargers are a team that I don't really know what the hell's going on.
The Chargers are a team that will probably have a new head coach going into next year. Jim Harbaugh to the Chargers.
I would never watch Chargers football ever. I already don't watch it, but if you had a Harbaugh brother,
the Chargers. I think Brandon Staley's gone if they don't make the playoffs this year. They're coming off a tough loss to the Raiders.
You've promoted Quentin Johnson every time, haven't you?
I have pushed the Quentin Johnson agenda to the Chargers through the past 2 mock drafts we've done.
And do we want to keep that consistency, or do we want to draft? I feel like could they use a corner on the other side of JC?
Asante Samuel.
Is he slot?
Bryce Callahan's been playing in the slot. He's injured.
Is he 100?
About 30, 29, 30.
30 ain't bad. Okay.
I mean, the right person could sell me on Bijan Robinson here. They really could. The right person could truly sell me on Bijan here.
If the Chargers take Bijan, they are officially the worst franchise in football. Because that is the definition of you already have a top 10 running back, you're just adding on just to do it.
I've seen Michael Mayer mocked here before. There seems to be a hole at tight end. I like Gerald Everett, but he's getting old. I'm not sure he's on contract for much longer.
Is he getting old? We thought Bryce Callahan was young. We thought Bryce Callahan was a spring chicken, but Gerald Everett's getting old. He's like 26.
I'm telling you, I'm good with throwing my Quentin Johnson pick out there. I think the fit's really good. It gives Mike Williams the slot flexibility and lets him just have fun in the slot and be a big slot and embarrass these 5'10" slot corners.
Okay.
So I like the Quentin Johnson pick here.
I'm cool with it. I mean, at this point, we're just speaking it into truth.
Fuck.
For that social media quarterback.
The Patriots. The Patriots.
The right answer is Gronk's replacement.
No. We have the highest paid tight end room in all of football.
So why not add on to that?
No.
Could you use an edge rusher?
I mean, Matt Judon's been great. Josh Uche is starting to develop a little bit. I would love a Trenton Simpson here. Patriots haven't drafted a first-round linebacker since Gerard Mayo, I'm pretty sure. And I mean, I think Dante Hightower might have been.
I think he was
a first-round pick. Trenton Simpson, I think that Bill Belichick could have a lot of fun with him on defense. Just kind of throw him out there and see what happens. But I need the Patriots to draft a corner so bad. I'm sick of going out there and watching. I'm sick of watching J.C. Jackson and Jalen Mills play corner every week.
Who?
Exactly.
You said J.C. Jackson.
And Jonathan Jones and Jalen Mills. Yes, Marcus Jones, rookie corner, has been outstanding. They even had him playing slot receiver, and he caught a touchdown.
Is he a good corner, or is he just a good player? There's a difference.
He's in the top 5 rated rookie corners this year.
Being an actual corner.
No,
that's cool.
So I like that, but John Jones, he's a great CB2. He's shown flashes to be a good CB1.
I thought he was a baller like a couple years ago. He was
the slot corner in a secondary with Stephon Gilmore the year he was depoy and J.C. Jackson the year he was breaking out.
So that's why he was a dog.
Yes.
Okay.
I like the Christian Gonzalez pick here. I mean, the Patriots' way is they like to have 4 or 5 corners that are good enough to go play at the same time and just go stop defenses. John Jones, again, he showed flashes. The past 2 weeks, though, it's been rough going against Justin Jefferson and Stephon Diggs. And the Patriots' cornerback room, I like them as a Patriots fan. I like them. They're all good players, but they're missing that true Stephon Gilmore-esque CB1 that they haven't had in a few years. So I like Christian Gonzalez here, out of Oregon.
It's your pick, homie.
Washington Commanders.
This could be Anthony Richardson, once again, throwing it out there.
A team that could be a trade-up. This is a trade-up potential team, I feel like.
I agree. This is a team that
doesn't need receiver.
They could use a stud running back. They could use...
If you sat here and sold me on it, I would buy.
No, because there's a better team that's going to buy it. And I'm just waiting for the opportunity.
Interesting.
I have no idea who the team is. I'm just going to make it up when it happens.
This is another tough pick. The defensive line is set.
Is one of those guys leaving or no?
I mean, there's been talks. I think that they're going to keep their guys.
Hayden Allen or Stan.
Then you got Sweat and Chase Young on the edge.
So those guys are solid. Cornerback room, I think they could use some help.
They really could, but the fact that Jamin Davis has not developed really at all,
so
even though that was your boy.
Trenton Simpson?
Again, Ron Rivera, another defensive-minded head coach. I think Trenton Simpson would be a really fun player to watch here, but their corners are so bad. I mean, I hate to go corner back-to-back, but I mean, dude, their secondary is terrible. I think it's got to be Cam Smith, SEC corner.
That's fine.
Some people CB2. He's my CB3 right now. So, I mean, I don't mind the pick at all. 19. Fuck. Another cornerback needy team.
Yep.
Cornerback, not quarterback. I'm sorry.
You said corner.
Did I?
Yeah.
No, I don't know why I thought I said quarterback.
Tom Brady likes his tight ends. Throwing it out there. This could also be Anthony Richardson.
Yes.
This could also just be Kyle Trask.
Yes. This is tough.
I feel like...
This draft pick, are we going off if Tom Brady's playing another year, or is this the post-Brady era in Tampa Bay?
I mean, right now he's playing football, so let's just assume he's playing football.
Michael Mayer.
I was thinking Adder or Tyree Wilson because I know what is Tyrone?
Joe Tyrone.
Tyrone. He's been playing good, but Shaq Barrett's got hurt.
Yeah.
JPP's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see it being kind of either.
Yeah. I mean,
how much is a rookie tight end going to help Tom Brady win a Super Bowl?
that's true.
Because rookies,
That makes sense.
yeah.
I mean, if you could guarantee me that
They'll probably trade this pick if Tom Brady's still here.
Yeah. They'll be trading up for Anthony Richardson.
Or they'll trade for a player to help him win a Super Bowl.
It's true.
Like
But
Deontay Johnson.
assuming here that I like the Tyree Wilson pick you sold me, adding a freak athletic edge rusher across Joe Tyrone Shoyinka with a Shaq Barrett coming back, with a Vita Vea in the interior, you sold me.
Next up, pick number 20, we have Seattle. With their first pick, they took Bryce Young.
Brian Bursey.
Okay.
They passed up on Jalen Carter earlier. Brian Bursey is a freak of nature defensive tackle. He can play a speed D tackle. He can stuff the run. He's huge. He was top of his high school recruiting class. He may have even been the top player in his recruiting class. He's lived up to the hype at Clemson, and I think that he could easily find himself inside the top 12. Just with how good he is.
With this next pick 21, I saw somebody mock this. I don't want to do this at all, but I want to hear your opinion because I think it's stupid. They had Bijan going here.
Why? What was the explanation?
I didn't read it, but I'm pretty sure it's just Derrick Henry's getting old. And they need somebody to replace it, and their offensive system is like, it's so running back heavy. But me personally, I hate it.
Or if you're the Tennessee Titans, who are a team in a very weird spot, are you using your first round pick with other pressing needs on the offensive line, in the receiver room, and on the defensive side of the ball?
They really need a quarterback, so there's no
on a backup running back? Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
I see the vision, but you can't sell me on that. I like Trenton Simpson here. Their linebackers have been okay. They're a team that kind of just throws whoever out in the secondary and tries to make it work. I think the D-line's set. You could also sell me on an edge rusher here. I really like B.J. Ojulari out of LSU. What are some other edge guys here? Isaiah Foskey's a guy who's kind of going up and down draft boards. Same with Jared Verse. If it's edge, I like B.J. Ojulari over them guys, but if we're just going best player available, to me it's Trenton Simpson.
I say we go best player.
I say so too. The Jets.
What do they need? They need a quarterback.
They need a quarterback, probably an offensive tackle, and
they could probably use another corner.
Yeah, but are you double dipping on 2 first-round corners?
Probably not.
What's their safety room looking like? Can you pull it up? What's their safety room looking like? Because I'm not sure if I can name a safety on this team.
I'm not sure the Niners ever had a good safety, though.
Yeah, that's true.
It's Jordan Whitehead and Marcus Joyner.
So they need a safety.
They also could use... You could probably use a linebacker.
Yeah, Quan Alexander and C.J. Mosley ain't getting any younger.
They could use... No, never mind. They have pretty solid. Yeah.
Linebacker.
They could use the lineman, I think. I don't know if there's any here worth taking.
I wouldn't mind an Anton Harrison, Boomer Sooner. Osiris Torrance, you could never go wrong with an interior offensive lineman. I think offensive tackle is more of a pressing need for them with the injuries of Mekhi Becton and them kind of having to throw veterans out there to play offensive tackle.
Taking Anton?
I think we are. Anton Harrison, Boomer Sooner. The Giants. A potential trade-up spot for the Giants. Go get a quarterback.
Yep, could be. As of right now, I think they need a receiver. I'm not sure there is a receiver.
Josh Downs I like. Rashee Rice is a big body receiver with speed on him.
Do they need another Kenny Galladay?
Then you got Josh Downs, who's your speed guy. Yeah, Rashee Rice here, though, dude. Kenny Galladay didn't work out, but you just need a receiver that can literally do everything. High point the ball, get open on routes, get open downfield.
I agree. They definitely need a receiver.
I like Rashee Rice out of SMU here. If Cortland Sutton had speed, it's Rashee Rice. And I only say Cortland Sutton because they're at the same college.
I was wondering if you just like.
No, I was literally only saying it because they
pulled
were
it out your ass.
because they were both SMU guys. Denver at 24. They got very blessed getting rid of Bradley Chubb because they were in the first round. What are they doing here?
I mean, there's like so many things that they need to do.
Need offensive line. Probably
need a quarterback.
Need a quarterback. Probably need a receiver.
I'd say hold on to Russell Wilson.
You kind of have to.
And just try to help him out the best way possible because your defense is already up there.
Yeah.
I guess O-line is the only thing that they really
Bijan.
No.
Why?
Because they have Javonte. Why would they?
Coming off an ACL.
No.
Fair enough.
It's a hard no.
Fair enough. You're thinking O-line?
Yep.
I hate all the O-linemen here. Jalen Duncan, though, dude, out of Maryland. He's a guy who's kind of been really high on draft boards, but also extremely low on draft boards. I like him a lot out of Maryland. He's got good size. He's got good speed. I think he could help the Broncos out a lot on offense, and especially with what they do. And I think when they get a new coach after this year, will come in and try and fit the mold of a Russell Wilson offense. I think Jalen Duncan would be a really good fit here. He's got the size. He's got the speed. He's very physical at the point of attack as an offensive lineman. So I like Jalen Duncan here.
And here it is.
Yeah.
The long-awaited moment.
Bijan.
Put him in a backfield with Lamar.
If they keep him. Lamar did just get hurt yesterday.
Put him in a backfield with Lamar.
And just
see what happens.
Yeah. That's the pick.
Bengals are up at pick number 26. Their offensive line hasn't been that good this year.
This pick is so easy to me, and that you have to get Eli Apple on the field. Pick a corner, Eli Ricks or Clark Phillips III. Take your pick. Clark Phillips is more of the slot archetype corner. He's a little bit undersized. Eli Ricks is your typical SEC corner.
I'm going to be very biased with my picks. So.
Who?
We'll give him Clark.
It's fair. Ow.
I didn't even peep. Motherfucker. The Dallas Cowboys will be taking Eli Ricks to put on the other side of Diggs, and DeRon Bland can play in the slot, and we're fine.
Kansas City at 28. Another case of best player available.
Yeah. Could they use a safety? I know
they did just bring in Justin Reed.
Who's on the other side?
Can you look it up?
Swords inside there?
No, they have didn't they just draft a guy? Fuck, what's his name? It's not
They have McDuffie, don't they?
Trent McDuffie.
I thought he's a corner.
He's been doing everything for them though.
He's been their honey badger.
They're using him to be their honey badger.
So
he's been playing a lot more. He's been playing a lot more corner than I thought he would. But I mean, they have thrown him back at safety. I'm pretty sure he's.
Oh, they have Juan. Oh, yeah, Juan Thornton.
Okay.
So they don't really need a safety.
Brian Branch.
What?
Just kidding. They could go another edge here. I mean, George Karlaftis has been good, but who's on the other side of him? Is
Frank Clark.
Frank Clark, who's what, about 100?
Yeah. And he's really just to begin with.
I'm liking the BJ Ojolari pick here.
I'm cool with that.
I'm a lot higher on him than a lot of other draft analysts, but I have my reasons. Vikings at 29.
Well, it ain't tight end.
No. It ain't receiver.
Do they just beef up the O-line?
Trying
to pull up their depth chart.
I wouldn't mind a Henry To'oTo'o here, pairing him with Eric Kendricks. Henry To'oTo'o is an amazing leader. He's got that dog mentality in him. He's been in the SEC, at Tennessee, and at Alabama. Who are you thinking here?
I mean, they
have a lot of capital in offensive tackle. That's why I'm kind of iffy. They took Christian Darrisaw in the first round, and they just extended Brian O'Neill.
Yeah, but I was thinking Osiris
Torrance.
Because, I mean, they just brought in Zadarius Smith. They have Eric Kendricks.
Yeah.
Jordan Hicks has been okay. They have Brian Asamoah, who they drafted.
Yeah, well, I mean, Osiris Torrance, I don't mind it. Bringing in an SEC.
They could also use like an edge rusher, probably.
Who's on the other? They have Daniil Hunter and Zadarius.
They have Daniil Hunter, but I'm looking at like their D-line. It's not that good. Outside of Daniil Hunter and
Garvin Dexter, maybe.
I'm cool with What did we say? Osiris?
We said Osiris Torrance.
I'm cool with that.
Works for me. The Buffalo Bills at 30. Bijan.
He's already gone.
I know. I was.
The Bills, I feel like they could use a tight end. Will they do that?
I feel like that this could be a receiver. Gabe Davis is not him. I'm sorry, Gabe Davis is not him.
I thought he'd be good in fantasy. I ain't saying he was good.
Yeah,
Just because they're good in fantasy don't mean they're good.
Yeah.
I mean...
Zay Flowers would be fun here. Just tell him, put him in the slot, tell him run straight in between the two safeties and let Josh Allen hit him 70 yards downfield.
Look at Michael Mayer do that too, and he's higher talent.
I mean...
Just throwing it out there?
Yeah, but is Josh Allen not throwing to Dawson Knox because he's not good, or just because he don't throw to his tight ends?
I mean, he might not throw to his tight end because he don't have a Michael Mayer.
That's fair. I'm down for the Michael Mayer.
We'll do that.
And Philly at 31. Huh. Earlier in the draft,
I feel like...
Keely Ringo.
Yeah.
It's got to be one of the top edge rushers, I feel like. Jared Verse and
I
Isaiah
agree.
Foskey on the board here.
I agree.
Pick one. Justify them both.
We'll go Foskey.
Okay.
He's got a cooler name.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. See, full results. Yeah. That was fun. I mean, a lot of questionable guys. We are starting to get more of a feel of what's going to go on in terms of the NFL draft. I know it is still slightly early, just because it's just now becoming bowl season. But we'll only from this point on, we're only going to start to get more idea of what teams need what players are going to fit what teams well, and what players teams are liking. So you don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and check out the podcast this week, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with our Stardom Sit-em.
See ya.
Peace.